Chloe, just check that is recording, because I don't want to not. Is that right?
Yeah, that's perfect. Okay. Yeah, I asked about that, about anyone else being here, because this is actually a performance for a teenage audience. So, can I just, how old are you?
27.
Okay, no. How old are you?
32.
No. Okay, how old are you?
33.
No. Okay, how old are you?
59.
No. Okay. How old are you?
23.
No. Okay, so it doesn't look like we've got any actual teenagers here today, so we're going to have to be creative.
They're all teenagers at heart.
Hey.
We are all teenagers
At heart. Oh, fantastic. Okay, that's really useful, because I mean, you're all going to have to become teenagers now, if that's okay.
In that case, I better get on my device.
Teenagers who go to school, because this bill would have made it a requirement for your teachers in your school to teach you and your friends about sex and relationships. Okay? It would have been an opportunity for you to ask all those questions you've always wanted to ask about consent, pornography, what things taste like. You know, questions like, where's a good place to have sex? There's so many options. I guess it depends on your politics. How about up here for some Christian feminist sex, besides the Christian feminist newsletter? Or around the table for some open discursive group sex? How about some gay Marxist sex? Around here, or amongst the early editions of Spare Rib for some straight, white, middle class sex. If you fancy something more intersectional, maybe move over to that end where you can have some black and white working class sex. But if you want something more generally penetrative, I do suggest, staying by the door there where you can just keep popping in and out. And of course there's on top of the photocopier for reproductive sex. But before we just get too into that, we need to wait a minute, because this bill was dismissed by Parliament in June 2014, which means that you don't have the answers to that question or any of the questions you wanted to ask. And actually, as we ascertained at the beginning, you're not actually here at the Feminist Library right now. So you've got to make your own education, which would be fine, except there's a lot of patriarchy disguised as logic out there. Take a moment. Close your eyes. Just going to set the scene. You're a teenager. It's a Saturday afternoon in December. You've got up, you've had your cereal, you've watched TV, you've got dressed, you've gone out, and now you're where you are, which isn't here at the Feminist Library. I'm going to count down from 3, and when I get to 0, which I'm not going to say, I want you to open your eyes and tell one of the people around you where you are instead of being here right now. Okay, is everybody ready? Okay, here we go. 3, 2, 1.
Indigaro.
Shopping mall.
Okay, let's hear some of these then. So, where were you?
Football practice.
Yes. Where are you?
My best friend's house.
Yes. Where are you?
Castle Park.
Where's that?
In Colchester.
Yes, of course.
Breakfast.
Where are you?
In a different park.
Okay, yes. Where are you?
In the shopping mall, Westfield.
Yes. And as well as being in all those different places, you're also all simultaneously here in this shoe shop with my mum. And you're asking her not for some sex and relationships education, but for a pair of black suede kickers with a 2-inch heel. Unfortunately, she says no, which makes you feel disenfranchised to the extent that you organise a protest. Could you pass me those placards? Thank you very much. With placards, can I just pass these round for people to hold? There you go. Cheers, yeah, just keep passing them on. There you go. Just passing those on. That's great. get a nice spread. And there's one more. Could you pass that on out? Thank you very much for your assistance. Got a nice spread. You want to have one? Okay. Cool. So, this protest you've organised, you've got placards and a chant that goes, "But Mum, they're so cool. They look great. They'd give me a lovely gate." If you want to try this time. They're so cool. They look great. They give me a lovely gate. They're so cool. They look great. They give me a lovely gate. One more time. They're so cool. They look great. They give me a lovely gate. You go to school the next day in a bad mood, but as you're walking home, you start to think about the whole thing, and you think, oh well, at least I won't get raped. Because you know no one could fancy you in your Clark shoes. They're not cool, they don't look great, they don't give you a lovely gate. You don't need sex and relationships education to tell you this, because you've got magazines and TV and the internet and music. You can put the placards down now. Take a moment. And close your eyes. I hate to break it to you, but you're not a teenager anymore. It's a Saturday in December 2015. You've got up, checked your emails, had coffee, got dressed, gone out, and now you're here in a feminist library. And in front of you is a new version of this bill, which still has the opportunity to make sex and relationships education a legal requirement when it is put before Parliament for its second reading on the 22nd of January 2016. I'm going to count down from 3, and when I get to 0, which I'm not going to say, I want you to open your eyes and turn to one of the people around you and say to them, could you write to your MP and ask them to support this bill when it's read again in January 2016, because blah blah blah. Okay, you can ad-lib that bit. I believe in you. You've got this. Okay, is everyone ready? Yeah, okay. Yeah, be persuasive. Okay, let's go. 3, 2, 1.
Yes. Okay, good. Where is she?
Wow. Claire, where's she from? It's less likely to write to you.
Yes, because information is power. They need that knowledge in order to be able to make informed consent.
Thanks everybody. Cheers.